Hello everyone and welcome back. And so in this part we're going to try to finish up the head, and in the next part we'll attach it to both his retopologized body and his sculpted body, and then we might add some little sculpted details in there, just a little bit, just so that we have something to bake on the face as well. So I'm just going to move some of these out here. I did the main face time lapse because that process can take a long time, and depending on how you want your character's face to look, it can take longer than others. So I wanted to give you guys some freedom in the amount of time you wanted to spend on getting your face to look the way you wanted it to. I'm just going to fix up a few little things here. Want the bottom of the eye to come out more. Okay, that's better. I'm just going to bring this in like so. I'm going to extrude these and bring them in, scale them, bring them in like so. I'm going to extrude them again, scale them up, move them back, scale them up. Add an edge loop inside of there, scale it down. Just moving vertices around, trying to get nice, smoother shapes. Just going to bring the side of the mouth out a little bit more. Okay, he's looking good. Now I'm going to deviate from the background image a little bit because it doesn't convey the emotion I want him to convey properly, in the background image at least. So I'm going to bring this eye down so it looks like it's slightly closed, like he doesn't really care. That's the kind of look I want him to have. And now that I'm thinking about it, we can give him some kind of nostril. Or something like that. Something real subtle. then we can inset that with I, uncheck or check boundary. Can move that in, start to move it up. Can extrude that again, and that'll be that. Just wanna smooth those. These vertices, move them out. Move them back into the face a little bit more. Looks good from the front. Looks good from the side. And I'm just gonna move these edge loops out here. Prevent that pinching. And let's go to our ambient occlusion, turn the strength down to like 0.5. There we go. Let's turn the samples up to about 50. Okay. So now we're gonna start with the rest of the head. Just gonna bring these down here. Rotate them. Select that one also. And just control left click all the way down to the neck. Again, some parts we might have to deviate a little bit from the background image because it has to fit in 3D space as a whole, not just matched up with the images, because the images can be, they're a great help, but at times can be misleading for the proper look that the character should have. So just be mindful of that. It's still always, I think it's best to work with background images, in my point of view though, because they give you the best foundation for getting started with the model. It's like you have, you have blueprints. Just gonna build this out. Start making those faces. Add an edge loop here. Make a face. Make a face. Let's add an edge loop in here. And let's kind of round it out. Okay. And then we'll get that fixed up once we have everything connected. So I'm going to extrude these down. Like so, maybe rotate them a little bit. Select these, make those faces. Booyah! There we go. room there for the Adam's apple. Let's extrude that down again. We can move these inward. I can move this one out. I can move this one out this way. He has a bit of a thicker neck, fit his body. His head kind of looks awkward. So I'm going to have to bring the back of his head out a little bit. There we go. Smooth that down. That looks a lot better. Once we fill this hole in, we can fix some more issues. Okay, we have 17, so let's add an edge loop in here, do grid fill, let's change the span and the offset. That looks good enough. And you can use the basis of that to kind of fill out the rest of the shape. And then what will help us is if we go in sculpt mode, just hold shift and shift click on some trouble areas, and we can turn the strength of our smooth down. If we go hit S and turn the strength down. There we go. Hit G to grab. We'll grab some of these vertices and pull them out. Just moving in the jaw. So we'll keep the background image for now for when we do the ear or ears. But once we finish the ears, we'll get rid of the facial images and we'll adjust it to how it looks, or how it should look in 3D space. But so far, so good. It's not looking too shabby. Bring those jaws out a little bit more, and we can kind of shape it up. You can turn the opacity down as needed on these images. So you can better see what you're doing. There we go. I like that. Okay. Alrighty, so now let's get started on the ear. And we're not going to put the ear way back there. We're going to put the ear somewhere right here. So let's go to object mode, hit tab, go in the edit mode, and going to shape these vertices here. We're not going to make it very complex here at all. Just a basic shape. E to extrude that. R, rotate it on the Z axis. And rotate it in like that. S to scale it up. Okay. Go to face select mode, select these faces, inset them, extrude them inward, scale them down. Those are some pretty big ears. We can smooth this area out a bit. We can scale this down. Bring them in closer to the face. And then we can just move these parts out. Edge loop out here, scale it up a little bit. Actually, at the edge loop, going to deselect these vertices here and scale them up back here. Kind of move them in, give them their own space. There we go. And I'm just going to grab this neck and move it back a bit. Fill out the back of his head just a little bit so that this is a bit more natural looking. Okay. And I think that is that. Now we could add some more detail in the ear. So let's try it. Let's inset this, smooth it out. and kind of rotate it. We can extrude a bit of that. Or better yet, we can extrude this. Well, we extruded that out way too far. Okay. Let's try that again. Inset that, smooth it, rotate it around. Extrude that out, smooth it. And we can extrude that little bit in there like that. There, so they're not so plain. And I think that'll be that. Yep. So that's the face. So let's select, well, with our face selected, hit M, move it to the first layer. Go to first layer. See, our head should be proportionate with the rest of our body, and it is. So we can actually get these connected up right now. I'll show you how to do that. So first thing we want to do is join these together. So select the face and then shift select the body, hit Control J, and just add a mirror not a mirror modifier, a subdivision surface modifier. There we go. So now it's back to looking the way it did. Scale this bottom part out, especially on the x-axis. Smooth it out like so. Okay, and then let's grab the loops on the body and move those. And let's actually delete these vertices here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to start connecting them up. So it's good to go both ways. Okay, so here's where we run into a bit of a problem, but not really. So though we made our faces geometry, we can just add an edge loop in there, and it barely interferes with the face, which is good. So we can just hit F like that, and there he is. So we can hide these background images now and get him set up with the rest of his body so that he looks presentable. Because right now he just looks decent. His head is a bit far from the rest of his body, like he has a really long neck. And this is angled down too much. Well, we can just bring his head down. There we go. That's a bit better. And there we go, guys. So we have our character. He's mainly, so he's about finished. We just have to do, we just have to make his accessories, his hair, and his weapons, and then we'll rig him up, and that'll be that. So I'll see you guys in the next video.